Retrograde. It's a word that can strike fear into the astrology follower's heart, and not without good reason, because during retrograde periods, things have a funny way of going a little haywire. But what is actually going on when a planet is retrograde? So, throughout the year, every planet has a retrograde period. It happens when that planet passes the Earth in its journey around the sun. And if you've ever been in a car where you passed another car that was going at a different speed and you looked out your window and it looked like one of you was going backwards, have you ever had that optical illusion? Well, that's what a retrograde is like because the planets move at different speeds. So, of course, planets don't actually spin backwards, but that is what it looks like from our vantage point on Earth, which is how we measure astrology. So, you've probably heard about Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet that rules communication, technology, data, travel, transportation, a lot of the pieces of our everyday lives. And when Mercury goes retrograde, the things that are under its jurisdiction can go backwards or haywire. People don't understand each other. You drop your phone in the toilet, your devices crash, people argue or are late or lose their passports on the way to the airport. All the things that Mercury rules can go awry. And the planets are actually divided between the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, which more govern our day to day lives. And then from Jupiter out to Pluto, those are the slower moving outer planets. Now, the outer planets always go retrograde for about 4 to 5 months a year. And it's almost a blessing in disguise when they do because they rule the bigger themes of our lives. And when they're retrograde, we kind of have a chance to metabolize and integrate what those changes and themes are. They're teachers of growth. Now, yes, it's inconvenient when any planet is retrograde, but we don't feel those quite so harshly usually. Whereas Venus is a planet of love and diplomacy and peace and romance and relationships. So, of course, when Venus goes retrograde every 18 months for 6 weeks, the headlines are suddenly full of celebrity breakups and exes and old friends come back from our past, or people just can't get along. And Mars retrograde, Mars being the planet of energy, but also war, strife, and conflict can exacerbate that. But retrogrades are actually opportunity periods if you understand how to work with them. So retrogrades have the prefix RE, which means to go back. Retrogrades can be opportunity periods to actually go back yourself and complete unfinished business. In this modern world, we're always rushing ahead and doing so many things that we sometimes don't even finish half of what we start. So during a retrograde, you can actually use the time to pause or slow down on new initiatives and work on the ones you already have. Work on your relationships, finish a project, go back to an old manuscript or creative endeavor or something that really meant something to you that you just never got around to doing all the way through. If you need to forgive someone, if you need to fill out some forms, if you need to apologize, if you need to work on a relationship, well, this is a time to really hash things out, to say, hey, let's not proceed until we work this through and get a better understanding. So while it's not the most fun, a retrograde is a great review and finishing period so that when it's over, you can move forward with a clean slate and start fresh. So you can use retrogrades to your advantage. And the key is to prepare. Find out when they're coming up, plan ahead, don't book your travel during Mercury retrograde if you can help it. Don't sign contracts if you can help it. But if you have to, make sure you prepare, you know, check all the passports and paperwork, hire a lawyer to review the contract, take extra precautions, and you'll insure yourself against some of the retrograde things that can go awry. So there's no need to fear the retrograde. Work with it. These are natural cycles. An ounce of preparation is worth a pound of cure, as Benjamin Franklin said, and use those retrogrades to your advantage.